In this video, we will review how to format an SD card using Ubuntu. Insert your SD card into your Ubuntu machine. If your card is already formatted, it will mount itself. Open up a terminal window and run the command mount. This will list all your mounted disks. The first thing we need to do is unmount the SD card. In this example, we have two partitions that we will unmount, boot and root FS. You may or may not have more than one partition. In the terminal window, run the unmount command on your mounted disk. The next step is to run the fdisk command. Look for a disk that is around the same size as your SD card. In this example, we are using a 4 GB SD card. The SD card is mounted to dev SDE on this machine, but the location may be different on your machine. Make sure you know which disk is your SD card before reformatting. Also note down the number of bytes. We will need this number to calculate the new cylinders in the next step. Take the number of bytes and calculate the new number of cylinders. In this example, our number of cylinders is 482. Run the fdisk command and select your disk location. In this example, our disk location is dev SDE. The next thing we need to do is to delete any existing partitions. You may or may not have any partitions on your disk. If you have formatted your SD card before, then you might want to start with a clean format and delete any existing partitions. Follow the next set of commands to remove any existing partitions. Once you have deleted any existing partitions, we can now configure the SD card with the new number of cylinders. Follow the next set of commands. Insert your new cylinder number here. Once you have completed configuring your SD card, we can create two partitions. The first partition we will set to 64 megs. The second partition will be the remaining size of your SD card. You can always adjust the first partition size to meet your needs. 64 megs tends to be good enough for most environments. The next set of commands will take the 64 partition and make it a FAT32 file system. Once completed, we will write the information to the card. Once the information is written to the card, we can now format the SD card. We want to format the first partition to a FAT32 and the second to an ext3 or ext4. Run the makefs vfat command on the first partition of your SD card. Makefs ext3 or ext4 on the second partition of your SD card. Once you have completed formatting, remove the SD card from your machine and reinsert it. You will notice that two partitions will auto-mount once you insert the card back in your machine.